The rise and fall of the UK superstar from Southampton, who got overnight success in the early 2000s with songs like Rewind, Interval Selecta, Fill Me In, 7 Days, and Walking Away. And that's when he got the critical acclaim. And by the second album, Slicker Than Your Average, he was the hottest star on the planet. And he was trying to also get into the US at the time, where he had a multi-million-dollar video for What's Your Flavor. They come out at the time was the most expensive music video of all time, inspired by his favorite movie, Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. He became this out-of-life character, just like a lot of superstars at some time in their careers, but unfortunately for him, that superstardom did not last for long. And that's when his second album was Slicker Than Your Average. Maybe he thought he was the king of cool and became the shallow of the man that he wanted to be, and maybe just followed the wrong path towards success, and he was just following the trend at the time. And that when that trend changed, he didn't change with it. He lost his soul, and that's the way it happens in the music industry sometimes. He was obviously going through relationship issues, couldn't keep a steady girlfriend. He had the issues with the comedic around the Bo Selecta character. They put his public perception to some people in a negative light. Very much an interesting time. But he managed to turn it around with his TS5 studio music he created. So we're going to look at the journey of Craig David from his rise to his fall and his return to music today. And I hope on the route you get a little bit of, you can learn about what to do to make your life great. And that's what we do here at Barry Charles News, giving you the most current events, the news around the world, history lessons, what's happening in cold cases, and we're giving you some little bit of stories about musicians as well along the way. So this one is Craig David. Remember to like and subscribe to the channel if you like it. Let's have a look at his life. From superstardom to betrayal and his bounce back through his Miami home. Let's get through it right here, right now. Let's get back to it where it all started for him at his home in Southampton. Let's go right here, right now. The 7 Days Crooner. Yes, Craig David started it all at Southampton. Born May 5th, 1981. Where he was born in Southampton with Afro-Grenadian dad and an Anglo-Jewish mother. He was brought up in a broken home with both parents being single, his father having half-sisters and brothers to Craig. I don't know how much the relationship between them were going, but basically the life here of Craig David was split up between the two family homes. But one of his dreams when he was in his flats looking over the car park in Southampton, that one day that he would be living in Miami with a jacuzzi. And it just shows you, if you have the mental strength, vision to do something, it can happen for you just like that. Yes, the journey of Craig David from Balmoor School to Southampton City College, where he learnt the way of bullying at times for his weight. With the family dynamic of the single parents, he may not have got the father figure he was looking for, and his life and relationships were a little bit distorted, and why he probably was too guarded in himself not to let love come in. But one thing he remembered from back in his early days was his first vinyl from Michael Jackson, Human Nature. He recalls that the music meant what meant to him, and how much his influence on music was from his mother and dad. His mother liked Donny Osmond, Stevie Wonder, Michael Jackson, where his dad was on the reggae scene with his group Ebony. I forgot the last name, but anyway, Ebony Rockers. That's the one. That was where where his music background came from. His dad gave him a studio kit at the age of around 11 and 12, where he learned to mix tapes. Where he could mix tapes, he could record his voice on one, and then he could put extra melodies on the second tape. His first concert he remembers, getting his R&B and pop soul roots, was Trent D'Arby, where the way he heard the song Sign Your Name, it really touched his heart, thinking, yes, I want people to remember my name when I do my music videos, and that's why you hear in a lot of the songs Craig David. So you remember who he is. His career started to go off when he won a songwriting competition for the boy band Damage, where their song went to number 2 on the charts. But after a few weeks, it disappeared and Craig David was out of the limelight again. But Craig David continued to work his charm, work his efforts on the DJ scene to try and get himself ready to move forward with his life. And he worked and grind, and then he found Mark Hill randomly met into Mark Hill, and within 10 blocks, they were walking to the studio. They remembered his singing voice, and they needed someone who could sing to go with the artistry of their DJing. So they got together and they collabed, and then one thing led to another. Boom, boom, boom. Songs started appearing. Yes, What You're Gonna Do was the first hit, the first hit single, but it was Rewind. They really got them going. Yes, Rewind. The song, they really got them going in the garage scene and started to hit the radio, and he started to travel more. So it was getting on the radio, it was getting played at the DJ booths, and then he knew he was starting to get there. So Max Hill came in and goes, let's go. Let's make an album just for you. And that's how Born to Do It was created. And it started with Fill Me In, which dropped and knocked Destiny Child's Say My Name off the number 1 in the UK. At the old age of 18. Walking Away comes out next, and that really got him going worldwide success. He starts a US tour, which with little success, but in Europe and Australia and other parts of the world, he was huge. But he remembers the time in America when he was doing plays where he had Missy Elliott, he had Beyonce, he had J-Lo, and he had one of his mother's mother's dream singers and Stevie Wonder at a show. And once Quincy Jones talked to him that Craig David was listening to his Born to Do It album, Michael Jackson was listening to his album. So interesting insight there. But their fame soon was about to disappear, while hence the name was Slicker Than Your Average. A big multi-million-dollar video, What's Your Flavor, hit the scene, and it wasn't too bad, but it flopped for what they were expecting. The sales of the record, the Slicker Than Your Average, was only 3.2 million or something, compared to Born to Do It 7 million. It was an absolute travesty for the company. And Craig David still thinking, we're making money here, but what's happening? But that's when the relationship with the company sort of fell apart. At the same time, the Bo Selecta comedic character was really in full force, and people were thinking, is he really this sort of guy acting like the comedic? It wasn't a good persona, and Craig David would feel angry about it and have spats on live radio about it, which didn't help his persona at the time. And he just started to fall out of favour with the world of singing and the record label. And by the time he got to his Trust Me album, he felt he had lost all faith and control in his music history. And when he got the Signed, Sealed, Delivered, when he was starting to sing Motown old songs and sing it just the same way, Dock of the Bay, not in his own style, he knew he lost his essence for music and he needed to move away. So he went to Miami. Yes, and he loved it initially. He was partying, had girls and all that, but he just felt like over time it wasn't for him. Just like the Rise and Fall song was probably a interesting song to be singing when you're in fame. You're saying you're already going to fall. About his career, was a career suicide singing those sort of songs? I'm not sure. Although he had some meaningful songs like Johnny, talking about bullying, and Let It Go about his mum passing, his grandmother passing away. But there were some positives that came out of his Miami trip there. And that was the house party of 9 people, the TS5 party, which was the name of the apartment at the time, and which is now going pretty much worldwide. He's touring everywhere, Ibiza, everywhere around the world. So he has turned it around. What actually happened around that turnaround, he went to Kiss and Capital FM, got his TS5 party on the radio, on the slot every week, and just went from there, and then got the Glattersby, being the main act there. So he really started working his way. His love life has not been so well to him. He's struggled with that. He's been open about that. He's had mental health issues with the issues around the Selecta time. But he stood tall. He's again singing again. But he will never probably reach the stardom that he did in the early 2000s. But he is doing his best to stay in the industry and stay relevant. He's obviously getting money. He's getting paid. But like a lot of people, like Justin Timberlake, Justin Timberlake and NSYNC. Justin Timberlake never reached the heights of NSYNC. Justin Bieber hasn't hit the heights of Baby. Whitney Houston, One Direction, they've all dropped down at some point in their careers. Michael Jackson went out of the limelight for a long time. So it's hard to stay on the top, and the only one at the moment that is staying on the top for a long time at this stage is Taylor Swift. You could argue Madonna, but Madonna's probably disappeared a little bit now, but Madonna's longevity is huge. Same with Elton John and the likes. But yes, Craig David. That's just a little bit of life story of Craig David and where he's been, where he's gone, the rise and fall. I hope you learnt a little bit out of this video, and I'll be back with another video soon. Have a great day.